riding in the rain isn't actually that bad. Yes, when I first started biking, I was a fair weather rider. And if you are a fair weather rider, I get it. I totally get it. There is something about riding only in the nice weather. I think we would all, if we could, we would choose nice weather every single time. But when I first started biking, I had, as most people do, I had some preconceived ideas as to what it was going to be like. And one of the things that I never wanted to do is I never wanted to ride in the rain. And yes, I was a fair weather biker. That lasted for, oh, not long, only about 4 years. Anyway, yes, I was a fair weather biker for about 4 years. It's only been really in the last year that I've really started riding in all weathers. And I have to say, yes, riding in the rain, your bike's going to get filthy, etc. But if you get the right gear, and I'll do a video on gear at some point. You know, I've done a video without gear, so I'll do a video on gear at some point. But yes, if you get the right gear, you know, you've got your full waterproof gear on, there's something about getting home from a rainy ride, taking your gear off and being completely dry. You know, a little bit of smugness maybe. But also, somebody once said to me, it's quite cosy riding in the rain. I thought, you're nuts, what are you on, you know? But actually, when you're fully geared up, you're riding in the rain, and there you are, tucked nicely inside your helmet, and you're not getting wet. It was right. It can be a little bit cozy. And number two, second thing that surprised me about biking, is the wind. I mean, if you're driving a car, you don't realise just how much work your windscreen is doing. I mean, if you start on a 125, especially if you've ridden bicycles, then a little bit of wind is to be expected. And if you're just pootling around town at 30 miles an hour, then you may almost just, you know, you almost don't notice it. But you get a bike out onto a run and you're doing 50, 60, 70, that's when you really get buffeted by the wind, and you really start to realise just how much of a job your windscreen was actually doing. I mean, I'm a little bit fortunate because I have a sports bike, you know, I have a fairing. Not everybody has a fairing. I have a friend who has a naked bike. He doesn't like pretty frocks. You know, that's okay. Each to their own. Man doesn't like pretty frocks. That's fine. But, you know, when I'm doing 70, either bike, this one or my little one, and I can tuck in and get out of most of the wind. Okay, you know, we're never going to have the same protection as a touring bike, but I can tuck in and get out of the wind. He can't. And I couldn't when I did my DAS, because I did my DAS on an MT-07, and every morning we'd take a bit of a stint at 70 mile an hour limit up to Exeter, and at the end of the day same thing on the way back, and you really bloody felt it. The wind really caught me by surprise, because it hits you in the chest, and essentially when you're doing, especially when you're doing 60-70, the wind hits you in the chest and it's basically trying to push you off the motorbike. And the next time I drive my car, I appreciate my windscreen even more. But yeah, the wind was definitely one, and I don't really mind taking the piss out of my mate with his naked bike, because he's good for a laugh, he's good for a bit of banter. And actually, that's number 3 really. Number 3 on my list of things that surprised me about bikes is the people that you're going to meet. You know, the people that you meet through owning a big chunk of metal and rubber it's absolutely amazing. I have met some amazing bikers, particularly this last year, some of whom I keep in my life, some of whom I just see at bike nights, and some of whom I only see at bike nights but really should try to become better friends with them. And then there's the people that you meet just on randomly when you're out and about, you know, car parks, etc. And then there's the few people that we met when we were on our charity ride out event that kind of was a bit of a disaster, but still, again, met some amazing people. I hadn't realised just how awesome bikers were going to be. You know, when I wanted a bike, it was just simply that, the idea that I think I might want a motorbike, and then took me quite some time, took me a couple of years, and then I got a motorbike. It was quite a long and drawn out but simple affair. I had no idea just how awesome bikers were actually going to be. And number 4 on my list of things that surprised me about biking is how something that is essentially primarily metal, a little bit of rubber and various fluids thrown in, how it can make you feel. I am never going to shut up about the positive impact that motorbikes can have on mental health. I mean, you have a bad day at work, just take the bike out. Break up with your girlfriend, just take the bike out. Whatever ails you emotionally, psychologically, just take the bike out. I'm never going to shut up about the positive impact that motorbikes have on mental health and how good they make you feel. They really are the ultimate head clearer. Every single time I go out on my bike, it automatically helps to equalize my brain. And number 5 on my list of things that surprised me about biking, and this really is one of the things that they should tell you but don't. They don't tell you about the amount of time you're going to spend looking for all the women that you were supposed to get when you got a motorbike. I do typically keep my bike clean. Yes, she's a bit dirty at the moment because we've been riding in the rain, but let's not forget, riding in the rain isn't that bad. But I do like to keep my bike clean, and I like to keep my bike clean for me. It's not really for anyone else, it's for me. And it is nice when someone else comments on how nice my bike is. It is nice when that happens, but it's always a dude.